What's going on, Couch fam? These are my NFL DFS picks for Week 15. We're concentrating on GPP picks for DraftKings. Sorry for the delay, but it's been hectic, as you can imagine. I had to go to all my leagues, had to talk to my community. We're implementing rules with all the breakouts and game changes and emergency replacements and whatnot. And this has also affected DraftKings at least a little bit. So, we're talking about the main slate on these videos. So the games that have been postponed, that's the Seahawks Rams game. So those players will not receive any points. All right, just to be clear, and there's a warning or message or something on DraftKings right here, actually, right there, as you can see at the top of the screen. And also the Washington football and Eagles game also postponed. So players from any of those four teams, Seattle, Rams, Washington football team, Eagles, on this Sunday main slate will get you 0 fantasy points. I know it's clear. I just want to make it extra clear, and that's why it's been just so hectic today. All right, so let's go on to the picks. I don't think this video is going to take too long, but every time I say that, we know what happens. All right, guys. So the top 2 players on my rankings, we're not talking DraftKings or salary cap necessarily, but the top 2 quarterbacks that I project to score the most fantasy points are, in fact, number 1, Josh Allen, and number 2, Kyler Murray. And every single ranking will have these 2 quarterbacks in their top 5. So we'll concentrate more on the less common, less obvious picks. So, well, this one's kind of obvious, but those are my top 2. So one guy I would consider picking is Aaron Rodgers. Unfortunately, he is expensive. Unfortunately, he did kind of ball out last week. Wow. 33 fantasy points. And then the week just before that, or when they played week 12, 29.2 fantasy points. Wow. And then the week right before that, 36. So he's been on a hot streak, but this Ravens defense is pretty extreme. Run defense, great. Pass defense, essentially non-existent because of all the injuries, and it's just been a mess over there for the Ravens. A lot of unlucky situations. So I do like Aaron Rodgers, 7,500 going against the Ravens. Now, you're like, shut up. That's such an obvious pick. This is stupid. These videos are stupid. You say contrarian, but they're not. All right. All right. Well, we got one. All right. Is this the first time I'm recommending him on this year? Because it is. I think the Falcons are really this bad. Jimmy Guap, 5,800 going against the Falcons. It's a home game. There's no Eli Mitchell. You know what, guys? This is just a fact. All San Francisco 49ers running backs have been absolute trash, except for Eli Mitchell this year. And even he hasn't broke off too many big runs. It's been a lot of low yards per carry for Eli Mitchell, even though he's looked good, even though sometimes he was facing tough defenses, that and this and that. Okay, but the fact remains, like, even he hasn't had a lot of big, huge, 55-yard runs, this and that. All the other guys have been terrible, right? Mostert, he played like 2 snaps this year. He's done for the year. Cal Juszczyk did better than Trey Sermon. Trey Sermon's done for the year. He's a bust so far. Jeff Wilson doesn't look like the same running back. Jermichael Hasty looked pretty good in preseason. A little bit of hype, just a little bit of hype there, and hasn't really done anything. We saw Jeff Wilson's the workhorse, and he just doesn't look great. With that being said, we got Ayuk, who's turned it up, right? Improved every single game. If you draw this graph, you might not get another graph like this in fantasy for a player. Every game, he's looked better and better and better. So we like Ayuk. Debo, obviously a huge stud. Kittle, and he's on fire, right? Since he's come back from the injury, just absolute fuego. Like, he's been, well, Is he the tight end one? Maybe not with Kittle's last performance, but with Kelsey's last performance Thursday night. But if we take that out, definitely Kittle's tight end one. Maybe Kelsey beat him out because Kelsey put up 40 fantasy points. Just insane. Over 40 fantasy points in my PPR leagues. So anyway, let's not digress, but Jimmy Garoppolo is 5,800. This is a team that loves to run the ball. Jimmy Garoppolo has not been great as of late, but when you got these yak monsters, if Ayuk, Kittle, and Debo can click and the Niners can score some touchdowns, I do like Jimmy Garoppolo, and he's going to bring back a lot of value, right? Because he's so much cheaper than a guy like Aaron Rodgers. What is he like? $2,000 cheaper than the top 3 quarterbacks, around there roughly. So I do like him, and he is my pick. Moving on to running backs. But before we do, just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Monkey Knife Fight. Stupid simple way to play DFS player prop games. What that basically means is, hey, you go to the site or download the app. Is this player going to do well this week? Is this player going to do bad this week? It's pretty simple like that. You just hit submit and enjoy the game. So this week, this is my pick. So we're going to head on over to Monkey Knife Fight. You just follow the link below in the description. Go to new game, and we're looking at this Vikings-Bears game. What is this? Monday Night Football, right? Okay, so go there, and these are my 3 picks for the touchdown dance. I set my goal to 2.5. You could set your goal to 1.5. I don't know. I just felt like I was torn in between. You can set your goal either way, 50-50. It's up to you. I set it at 2.5. I put in a fairly low end buying, only $5. You could do whichever one you want. So my picks are going to be Dalvin Cook, who I project has an 84% chance to score at least 1 touchdown. Justin Jefferson, at least 60% chance to score at least 1 touchdown. David Montgomery, 57% chance to score at least 1 touchdown. And those are my 3 picks for the touchdown dance. If you want to play, just follow the link below in the description. Head on over to Monkey Knife Fight. Stupid simple to play. Use promo code COUCH. You get a 100% deposit match and a free $5 game. So what you just saw there, what I played, you can enter for free. If you are a new user, follow the link below in the description. Use promo code COUCH. Good luck. All right, for running backs, we'll go a little bit less obvious, guys, right? This isn't any of these guys super, I wouldn't say super contrarian, maybe semi-contrarian. So the first guy on my list is going to be Melvin Gordon, with Javonte Williams potentially banged up a little bit. I don't know. And Melvin Gordon, I think it's a knee injury. Melvin Gordon also questionable. I like Melvin Gordon because he doesn't have the hype Javonte has. Javonte season, Javonte in Dynasty, everyone loves it. And Melvin Gordon's kind of overshadowed. I see where he was getting drafted in a lot of my season-long leagues. And, hey, let's face it, this is a 50-50 split. That's just facts, right? It's going to be like 15 touches for Melvin, 15 touches for Javonte, and it's been like that like every single week. Okay, it's just always like that. Like, it always is. Like, every week, it's like 50-50. And so I think you're going to be able to sneak in a decent running back for not a lot of ownership, somewhat contrarian. So I don't love this pick, to be honest, but I am pretty confident not too many people are going to pick him. And then you have that small chance that Javonte Williams isn't really 100%. So maybe he gets re-injured or he just not used as much. We'll see. It's a huge risk. It's not, like I said, it's not one I love, but I think it's so unattractive that no one's going to be picking him. And Melvin Gordon's been solid this year. That's just a fact. So we're picking that one more on the contrarian side, and the small chance that Javonte does nothing. That's a tiny chance, though. All right, my next guy is going to be Myles Gaskin. When he does play defenses like this, he does well, and so last time I played the Jets, he did 18 points. I don't really put too much weight into that because sometimes it's the opposite, but he's done well against some good matchups. He's kind of up and down. He's very inconsistent, which is actually a positive. Yes, inconsistent is a negative term. That's just how the culture is. But it's not a negative term at all. It just means he's up and down instead of steady. And that's great for GPPs because, we either want to lose really bad or we want to win big, right? We don't want to be in the middle. And that's what Myles Gaskin is. Price is okay. Matchup is great. And we'll see if he has any other running mates. He could be the workhorse there. And then this one, I am pretty excited about. Will this be I don't think it will. But you never know. I think it would be. I don't think he's going to be heavily owned either. With James Robinson putting up a mere 0.4 fantasy points last week, and then the week before 3.5 fantasy points, I really think that his ownership won't be too high. I mean, just imagine if you put up 20 and 30. Now everyone's going to be right in with James Robinson. But with Urban Meyer gone, and the team making a statement that James Robinson is the starter and will be used as such, and Carlos Hyde being out, and the matchup being pretty sexy against the Texans, I see James Robinson getting a lot of touches. Do we dare see a James Robinson from last year? Do we see a glimpse of that this game? Maybe. At 5,400, it's definitely worth it, even if we get 75% of that, right? If he puts up 20 fantasy points, that's a winner right there, man. That's so cheap. So cheap for a running back. Love it. Texans, they allow like the fourth most fantasy points to opposing running backs. I love that. All right, and now we have one that I don't like. Jeff Wilson, 5,000. Look, if it's a cash game or if it's season long, you're in playoffs, I don't want to start Jeff Wilson. But you never know, man. He's been getting a lot of snaps. So last week, this is the snap, right? With JaMycal Hasty fully healthy and Jeff Wilson being more of the question mark. Last week, no Eli Mitchell. Just like this week, no Eli Mitchell. 42 snaps in the backfield for Jeff Wilson. Only 14 snaps for JaMycal Hasty. JaMycal Hasty, I believe, 0 rush attempts. Okay, that's all you need to know. 0 rush attempts for Hasty. About 3 targets, I think, for Hasty. We should just look this up. And Jeff Wilson getting all the snaps and 13 rush attempts. So, like I said, I don't really like this as far as a guy I can count on. But in a GPP, he is going to be great salary relief. I just want to double check these numbers that I got off the top of my head. 0 rush attempts for JaMycal Hasty last week. 3 targets for 3 receptions last week for JaMycal Hasty. And the last guy on my list is going to be Michael Carter. You guys know I'm a big fan of his. He's returning back. The team said, hey, he's going to be used quite well. Like we're not going to limit him, basically. Like we're going to play him. And I do like him for this price. It's incredible. He can catch. He can run. And, yeah, I mean, he's just so cheap that it's going to be hard to resist for salary relief to have at least one Michael Carter or the other Jeff Wilson. All right, guys. Now, for wide receivers, and I'm just going to be in general. This is maybe the first time I'm doing this like officially. I'm not giving you a player on this one, but I really think you should pick one Cowboys player. Which player that is, I don't know. For me, it's going to be probably Amari Cooper. Then I'd consider CeeDee Lamb. Then I'd consider Dalton Schultz. Those are probably my top 3. I just really think you should have a Cowboys player. Dak does spread the ball, but I just feel like this team's going to do so well against the Giants. Maybe even the Cowboys defense, not too bad. I think we need a DAL, a Dallas player, something Dallas, in our lineup this week. That's my pick. Dallas, just Dallas. Just the city Dallas in general. I really think that's good. I think you should try to get that in there. And I think my number 1 guy is going to be Amari Cooper. He's a little cheaper than CeeDee Lamb. I do project CeeDee Lamb to get more fantasy points, though. So I don't know which one it's going to be. I really like you to pick one Dallas player. All right, moving on. Brandon Ayuk, 6,300. I do like him against the Falcons. Perfect stack with Jimmy G, by the way. And we got Christian Kirk, who's good, but I'm all with AJ Green. Like, it's just my gut feeling. I feel like AJ Green's going to dominate the Lions. He's going to be the man. We're going to see at least 6-7 targets from him. He's going to be good. Like, Christian Kirk is just as good, more expensive. How much more expensive is Kirk? So AJ Green's 4,900. Christian Kirk is $400 more expensive. Not bad, but I'm just going with my guy, AJ Green. Now, one guy that's going to be chalky, great salary relief. I love him. Devontae Parker, 4,300. Jalen Waddle is out, and Parker should be the number one wide receiver going against the Jets. Again, 4,300 for Devontae Parker, super cheap. And if you want a punt, that's not going to be as obvious, I guess, or as owned. Gabriel Davis, 3,700, going against the Panthers, and Emmanuel Sanders is out. So that's why we like Gabriel Davis. I mean, you could pick Cole Beasley too, or Diggs, sure. I mean, I didn't go over any of these like obvious picks. Like Devontae Adams is good, right? I don't do that. It's so obvious, and he's also the most expensive wide receiver. For tight end, same thing. I'm not gonna go over too many of the obvious studs like Kittle and Mandrews. But we will mention Gesicki. Now, Mike Gesicki is going to be heavily owned. He's a very obvious choice. The price is okay. The matchup is great. Mike Gesicki is projected to get a ton of targets. So I think he's going to get at least 7 targets this game with Waddle out. So we do like Gesicki. And like I said, it's kind of obvious, though. That's why we could go with Pat Freiermuth. 4,500. That's $500 cheaper than Gesicki, and I just think this guy's a stud, man. He's gonna be potentially a future star in this league. 4,500. Steelers tight end, rookie tight end, Pat Freiermuth. And if you're looking for a super punt, I'm not too familiar with this guy. I gotta spell it. I don't know who this is, but last week when Hawkinson was out, this guy got 6 targets, and Brock Wright, I forget the other guy who was supposed to be the actual starting tight end, got like 5 targets. So this guy's projected to outscore the other tight end. Sorry, I don't know these guys. I don't know the names. But if you're looking for a punt, Shane Zylster, whatever. He is the Lions tight end, and TJ Hawkinson is out. Minimum priced and 6 targets last game. I do like it, and I don't think people are going to pick him. Once they see this, like Gesicki's number is got a green 26 next to it under opponent rankings. So this guy's opponent rank is a number 2. It's red. He's a Lion. You can't pronounce his name. Look at this. This doesn't look sexy. No one's going to pick him. You're going to get him. He's going to get at least 4 or 5 targets. So, I mean, it's a great punt. Like, I actually really like it. And I had Brevin Jordan on this list, but he didn't practice Friday. So he's trending downward. So all of a sudden he's not practicing. That's a bad sign. I mean, that's just too much. I like to take risks, but that's too risky for me. All right, guys. Let's finish it off with the defenses. Cardinals D, I have ranked number 1. I love them. They're also the most expensive, $4,000 going against the Lions. We have the Dolphins D, 3,700 going against the Jets. That's a very, very good defense. Cowboys D is okay, 3,600 going against the Giants. Packers D, I feel like this one is a great GPP pick. Like, they can be okay, they can be great. It's just a lot of question marks, and hey, that's the risk. Let's roll the dice, see what happens type of defense. Niners D is okay, but if you're looking for a great, reliable defense at a great price, this is my number 1 most value, highest value, best value defense. That's what I want to say. My best value defense this week is Bills D, 3,100. Now, kind of like the Packers, there's a lot of question marks with this defense. Like, I don't know if they're going to score. Wow, look at these numbers. It's so up and down. I don't know if the Bills D is going to score 3 fantasy points or they're going to score 14 fantasy points. And that it really looks like that. Look at that. 2, 22, 7, 23. Look at this. 1, right? 12, -4, 11. Like it's so up and down. So I do like them. And if you wanted a super crazy, stupid punt, I would go in that same game with the Panthers D. Like, this is honestly one that I'm not considering. But when I was looking at the cheapest defenses, and there are only 18 defenses to pick from, okay, for the Sunday slate, only 18. And there is a realistic shot that the Panthers are not a bottom 8. Right. So if you can get the absolute cheapest defense, is there even one that's tied? Yeah, the Lions are tied. So you get the absolute cheapest defense, but there's a shot they could be top 10. You're going to save a good amount of money. Like, that's pretty good. And that's what I'm just saying with the Panthers is essentially, hey, there's a chance they won't be bottom 8 and they could be top 10. Like, it's very real. Maybe not bottom 5, not bottom 6 either. I really do think they're gonna be around, like, finished as the 11th or 12th best defense, and so that's why, like, hey, that's a lot. That's really good value compared to some of these guys, right? So you could be getting the Texans D for 2,800, but the Panthers D could finish with the same amount of points as the Texans D, for example. Like, I'm no hate against the Texans D. They're going against the Jags. So that might be good, but I'm just saying, like, hey, we can get a cheap defense, but it is kind of stupid. So, just fair warning on that. All right, guys, make sure you follow the link below in the description. Go to Monkey Knife Fight, use promo code COUCH. You get a 100% deposit match up to $100. Also, you get a free $5 game. Follow the link, use promo code COUCH. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Good luck this week. It's going to be messy, but stay the course. Look at the goal, look at the prize, stay focused, and let's get that W. All right, guys, see you on the next one.